try this again. And let's see if this works. Why is this camera not being detected now? There it is. Yeah, we're back now. I don't know how well. I think my internet just decided to die. That was uncool of it. I can say that much. And the Hypercube is not operating right now. Because I kind of rammed the Z up into the end stop before I left. And now it's being a jerk face. And also some of my settings didn't save since the last time I used it. Like all my startup code. None of that saved. Yep. That's all gone. So I gotta redo that from scratch. So let's, where do I have it at? I'll steal it off of the CR10. Copy that. Back here to the Hypercube. Paste it in there. And then we don't start at 20. We start at 42. We're gonna go to 100. No, we'll go to 150. It's fine. 150 is fine. And then we'll go from 150 down to 42. And we can go to OK. Print. And that looks more better. Although my offsets didn't stay either. So X was 19, Y was negative 42. This again. I am just absolutely screwing up this plate. Alright, try number 4. Still dropping a couple frames though, but my bitrate and everything looks pretty good. Hopefully this is all coming by okay. I don't know what's going on with the camera up there for the Hypercube, but it is not seeing it right now. Center and range. Okay. Morning, Rover. We can start printing here in a second, or what? We might be good on that now, but it's still not showing damn camera. Oh man. Sometimes technology just does not want to play nice. Let's see if we can get it working in here. Lock that. I don't need to touch it. No, it's because there's nothing even there. That one? let's remove that and let's re-add it. So we need to do a video capture device, printer, nothing. There it is. There we go now. Sorry about that, guys. Whoop. Set it in here. And then pull it down here. There we go. Now I can adjust. Now I can watch the magic happen. Mr. Purr, how are we doing? So, I'm hoping this stream will stay up better now this time. As I was saying before, sorry for the late to start. Had to take care of the baby. And sorry for no content over the last week. I've been on vacation in Europe with the family, and I had taken my laptop with full intentions of creating content. But yeah, that didn't happen. Between bedtimes with the kids, and we were just out late, it just did not happen at all. So I apologize for that. But starting tomorrow, Monday, there will, well, I guess that's 2 days for you guys. It's already Sunday. No, it's Sunday there. Yeah, it's Sunday everywhere right now. Monday, there will be a new video coming out. So it's going to be my Anycubic console video in my initial impressions, unboxings, things like that. So new content will start flowing starting tomorrow. I apologize for the delay in that, but sometimes you just can't create new videos at the time. Does that show up backwards on there? That's right. That's right. That's weird. So I have to start getting some more prints going now. A couple review videos to finish up. Hey Dan, so I am using the MKS Gen version 1.4 board. That is what comes in the FT5, and I've grown to like it a lot. But that being said, if I was to rebuild it, I would probably use the Tri-Gorilla MKS variant. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. Because I feel like that is a much better board. Nope, it is on my left hand right here. That would be my wedding band. That is not the right board. Is that the right board? Let me double check. Hang on. I have the old one here somewhere. The workbench is backwards. Alright, I'll see. Yeah, that's the right board. Yeah, so this is the, well, I don't have it there. But either way, I'll give you the link for it. But I would find this on, I think I got mine on eBay. I offered them like 10 less or 15 less, and they accepted it. So I really like this board because of there's 3 fan outputs on it, and with the outputs on it, you can set those to different fans. So you can set your cooling fan on the FT5 on your printer to start once the hot end heats up. Then you can set another fan to blow on your drivers, and that way, once a driver is engaged, any one of your drivers is engaged, the fan turns on and starts blowing air over them, which is great, so that you can have active airflow over any drivers, especially if you're going to use TMC drivers. You must have active cooling on them. They're going to heat up. They're going to get hot. Or if you're using LV drivers, you must have active cooling on them to keep them cool. They run very, very hot. 1.2 volts roughly for most of them, especially the 2208s, and the LVs run at like right below 1. I think. So they need active cooling. And again, they don't run all the time, but it runs when it needs to run, which saves the fan. And yes, the Hypercube is printing. I meant to edit and publish part number 5 last week. Obviously, what I just said, that didn't happen. So that will hopefully happen. I'll do some editing maybe tonight. Depends how long the stream goes. Probably going to do an hour tonight. And get that editing soon. Get to editing that soon, I guess. Oh, very good, Rover. Congratulations. Yeah, that the 100 mark was big for me too. I remember that. Yes, Oscar, that is a control board, and the control board is actually what runs the 3D printer. Your firmware is put onto there, and that is how it can translate the G code and make all the parts work with each other. Your thermistors, your motors, your fans, everything connects to that board. Think of it as the motherboard of your 3D printer. Why is that so big? It's bugging me. Alright, so here's something for you guys. M3D. I don't know how familiar any of you are with M3D printers, but their most popular is the Micro, the M3D Micro. And this came out on Kickstarter about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe longer than that. And they had, oh, here we go. 12. To 60. Okay. So they have reached out to me and asked me to start reviewing their printers. So I'm debating it, highly debating it, because I'd like to see this Pro Mega that they have here. I'm kind of interesting to see that. And I think if they let me see that, then it should be pretty nice. Hoping. I don't know. Yeah, so the M3D Micro, again, a lot of people don't like the M3D Micro. But this Pro Mega looks very tempting. Dual extruder. You know, there's not much on it yet, because everything in here is pretty much renders. This is all render imaging here. And then this, well, I probably should show you guys more of this here. This looks to be an image of the printer, but it's hard to tell. So I think it'd be cool to kind of see one in person and see how it actually performs. We'll see how it goes, though. Oh. Dan, thanks for subscribing. Do you consider to DIY a DLP 3D printer? No, I would never venture that. Until at least I probably have one to actually use first and understand how it works. I mean, it's like using a Cartesian and saying, oh, are you going to DIY a Delta? No. You buy a Delta, and then you DIY. Unless you're a magician, then so be it. Yeah, Mr. Purr, I get a comment about once a month whether or not I am related to Matt at all or if we're brothers. It's pretty funny. I'd love to do something with him or go down to Texas and see him. Maybe one day. Do I need a bootloader for that board if you need one to flash it? No, you do not need a bootloader. You can flash anything you want straight onto it right out of the box. Christoph, thank you for watching the videos. If I was to redo the Hypercube Oscar, yes, I would use that in my Hypercube. So the Gantry, the Micro, and the Pro. So they have several different ones. And this crane is coming soon too. And the crane, I believe, is an i3 style. Yeah, so it's an i3 style, which looks super basic and not very awesome. They also could have chosen a much better picture than having all this gunk after so many prints. Like, obviously your build plate, if you're using like a Buildtech, it's going to get gunked up like that, obviously. But they didn't have to show it in the product pictures. Should launch soon. Maybe I'll be able to get one of those. And then again, the Pro I have not too much at yet. The Ender 3, yes. So actually, my order for the Ender 3 got canceled because they didn't ship it in time. AliExpress canceled it. I was going to cancel it anyways because of the whole fiasco with them not being open source. And I figured, well, why should I be using my own money to buy a printer from them? They are now open source on all of their printer firmwares. From what I can tell, again, I've been on vacation trying to follow everything, but from what I can tell, the Cyberchick was able to get them to release the full CR10S version, and I'm waiting to talk to Tim from TH3E to see if he's updated his firmware yet so I can load it on my CR10S. Well, I don't even think it's a CR. I mean, is it that big? The crane? I didn't think it was that big. Yeah, and then the Pro, I hear a lot of issues with it, so I'm so curious. I don't really want to get a crap printer out of the get-go. Yeah, it's not a CR10 clone. It's just an i3 clone. 200 by 200 by 200. I mean, that's a G-Tech. That's a Robo 3D. That's a Prusa. There's nothing interesting about this. So unless it's coming out like super cheap, I have no idea why they're even producing it. There's nothing that looks outrageous about it. I mean, it's using some type of Titan clone on it, and maybe some type of, actually, it doesn't even look like a E3D. It looks like a, oh, what's that from? The Modern Price Select Mini. The weird extruder that thing has, that's what it looks like it's running, and that sucks. I hate, or hot end, I should say. That hot end is horrible. It's running dual 2020 channel for the wheels. You know, that's better for stability and all that. Other than that, it doesn't look like it's anything special. It better come in like real cheap. It comes in Bowden, Direct, Dual, and Quad. This looks like a single right here. So, I don't know what's going on about that. I do wonder what the price point's going to be on that. Hey, Evan. Yeah, the Pro Mega, it's expensive. I'm surprised they're asking so much for it. $3,500 is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Current price, $2,750. You know, 2 cubic feet. I mean, it's a big build space. You know, cube style, and it looks to be a, I guess, Ultimaker style. There are no pictures. Like, it looks like I'm guessing the Z is over here in the corner. I can't really tell. It looks like it's on sliders here. All 4 corners raise up. That's what it looks like. And it's running single motor on the Z axis there. This is a back view, it looks like, or side view of it. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting printer, I guess. And it comes in assembled and kit version. But doesn't look like you can pre-order it. It says, where's it at here? Okay, so the kit is only $1,200. And assembled is $2,750. Holy cow. That is a big difference. I mean, 716 people out of 1,000 have already claimed. So, I mean, they're over 70% claimed. and only a few percent for the kits. That is just crazy. 2.5 million claimed. 66,000 claimed. Good grief. It's an expensive printer. It better be doggone good for that kind of price. Yeah, that definitely is not going to happen. I don't know why they're claiming that at all. So the CR10S and a frame brace. No, Christoph, I have not. I have the frame brace here on the CR10 with the single Z motor. I have not noticed any wobble really on the CR10S that I've noticed on the CR10. That being said, I haven't tested it as extensively as I have the CR10. I had the 10 longer, the OG CR10 than the S, so I need to do some more testing on it. Skewed, yeah. So my internet died on me pretty much when I was streaming first, and then I rebooted stuff, and now it's working just fine. It seems like. And now I'm just doing a test print on the Hypercube right now. I'm making trophies for a friend. This is the trophy. I found on Thingiverse, edited the bottom to say what I needed to say. But the Hypercube gave me horrible ghosting. Show you guys this here. So that's the ghosting effect on the Hypercube. Basically, once the extruder comes out to do the lettering, it goes back. It doesn't ever go back. It stays out and just goes straight across. And these come out 1 millimeter, and it looks like it's only going back in about 0.5 millimeter to finish the wall. Super weird. I can't figure out why it's doing that. And it's only doing it on 2 sides. The other 2 sides are fine. I need to figure out, which axis is doing that. America Rising, hello subscriber. Yeah, I'm kind of mad that they canceled my Ender 3. Because I debated on canceling it, like I said, and I decided not to. And then, now I'm mad that people are getting it shipped and I'm not. Type of 3D printer for architectural models. Ooh. So, Tronic hardware. What size are these models? That's the first thing you need to figure out. Are they small, detailed models, or are they large, kind of detailed models? The first thing you have to figure out is the size. If you need to print big, you need a big printer. That starts a different price point. And if I was buying a 3D printer for a business that needed to do large scale, I would buy a G-Max. I would not buy a CR10 at all. I'd buy a G-Max straight off the bat, call it a day, and be done. I mean, the CR10S is nice, but it is nothing compared to a G-Max printer. And the i3 Mega is an excellent, smaller, detailed printer. So I would say if you need small models, an i3 Mega, perfect. Large, something different. Oh man. I have got to get back into the swing now. Jet lag isn't so bad. It's only 4-hour difference, but I am just need to get motivated again. if you want to print them in one go, yeah. Big, get a Gmax. Small, get an i3 Mega. I would like to say a Prusa i3, but I don't have one yet, so I can't really recommend those, even though they are pretty feature rich. I'm hoping to get one. So I will say, per my last stream, everything that I'm getting now via PayPal, so any type of donations that people are giving me via PayPal, or Streamlab tips, or the YouTube making, or the sales I'm getting off of GearBest, all that is going into PayPal and sitting until I have enough to buy an i3 Mark III, and I'm going to buy their multi-extrusion kit. So it's $1,000 I need to get set aside, and I'm at like 300. So eventually we'll get there. Will take a couple months, if not a year, to get that much. I'm hoping the Mark IV won't be out before I buy the Mark. YouTube group is not support, no matter what anyone says. That is just the community, and that's just how it is. It's the support you get from them and the updates that they do. I mean, they're open source with a lot of things, and the community for that is very specific. And it truly is out of the box print great printer. The the CR10S is pretty good. You do need to do some upgrades to it. You need to do some changes to it to get like great prints out of it. I also think that the control box is stupid, which is why both of my printers no longer have control boxes. But that's small. So it starts, it looks like 2,600 for single extruder, 2,800 for dual. The heated bed is awesome on this. The cooling is, frankly, second to none. You know, the fact that it prints everything straight out, I mean, I have yet to see someone complain about a Gmax printer, to be honest. Someone was asking about the... I requested to get a 4max, and they said no. They don't have any review units to give out right now. I think it looks interesting. I mean, for being... I would make that an ABS printer. Let's pull that one up real quick. So the... its size and its enclosure. I mean, if you need something that's enclosed, it's a doggone good buy, I think. 210 by 210 by 300. So that's a fair size build volume, especially the Z. Up to 300 on that. And the enclosure is what's the big thing. Fully enclosed. It's a kit printer. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. It's kind of like a Hypercube just enclosed. And the price is pretty good. What was the starting list? This was 500, wasn't it? Or 700? Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's 1,000. I thought it was cheaper than 1,000 on the reseller pages. I thought they were supposed to be like 700 when they were talking originally. If this ever loads, AliExpress. Yeah, so it's $1,000 on their website, but it's $449 on here. That's pretty funny. That's half the price on AliExpress. Come on. Yeah, $449. I'd like to try it. The Anycubic printers so far are great. Yeah, the Delta took me like a week to dial in, but I think I'm just a Delta noob. That took a while. But aside from it taking a while to dial in, I really like the printer. The Anycubic i3 back there is amazing. I mean, that thing prints by far one of my best printers I have printing right now. Alright, Skewed, see you later. Have fun with the Ender 3. The Hypercube, man. If you can build yourself a Hypercube for the price, if you have another printer, I like this thing. It works out pretty well. I'm looking because it's right here. Even though you're viewing it up there, it's right here beside me. I like it. We need to oil up a little bit some of the bearings on it. That's a little loud in some places. A little louder than I was hoping. And I think I need to replace the belt because the belts aren't quite. I'm using cheap belts right now, so kind of shame on me. But the cheap belts are kind of flexing a little bit, and I'm not liking that. One day, Skewed, I'll try out, man. Oh, man. Dimitri, the Formax you got for $350 or what? More, no, because it's not really an upgrade to the Evolution because it's 3030, so you have to print all new parts. And I honestly don't think that 3030 extrusion is any better than the 2020. I really don't. I'm using a 2040 brace on the bottom that goes all the way around. And this thing is super rigid. I don't understand why people don't think that 2020 extrusion is rigid enough. I really don't. With some good corner brackets. I'm not using 3D printed corner brackets, so maybe that's it. I'm using metal corner 2028s. So they're 20 millimeters wide, 28 millimeters long, a little bit longer coverage surface area to touch the 2020 extrusion. And I don't think it's a very decent upgrade. So Hypercube you can build for about $400, but it's labor intensive. Like I think printing alone is 100 hours or 150 hours maybe to print all the parts for the Hypercube. A Formax you pull out of the box, you put together, printing. Supposedly. I don't have one, so I can't vouch for it, but supposedly you pull out of the box, put together, it works. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. And also, you can only have a Hypercube if you already have a 3D printer. You have to 3D print all the parts for it. Unless you buy, no, you can't, you still have to buy it. Because you can buy the kit from, like, Ziltech. You can buy a Hypercube 200 or a Hypercube 300 from them, but you still have to 3D print all the parts for it. I thought they were going to make an Evolution one too, but I don't think they're doing that yet. Last I saw, Ziltech was in the middle of moving. They bought like a gymnasium warehouse or something like not gymnasium, but like a gym basically. They bought a gym and they're moving their facility to that. And I have not checked in with them the past 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm not sure what they're all doing. But if it's a first printer, obviously Formax. If it's a second or third printer, I like the Hypercube. Hey Mark, how's it going, man? A little squeaky over there on the extruder on this. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Need to look if there's any weirdness on this. It doesn't look like there is. I get some weird extrusions sometimes on this model on the bottom here. I don't know why. Everything looks fine though. Hello Mike, how's it going? I'm also way behind on consuming YouTube content. Tom put out videos. Joel put out videos. I'm also behind on my Demolition Ranch and Off the Ranch stuff, which I watch too, but I have not had any time to do any of that. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm out of the loop. Printing Professor, I try to watch some of his stuff too. Like, if you're building the 1 meter printer, like a meter by a meter, absolutely doesn't matter. But when your longest extrusion on the X or Y is like 300 or 350 millimeters, and you're bending that, there's a bigger problem here. Even on a meter, up to a meter, I would say, or I'd say half meter. What would I say meter? How long is that here? I would even say up to a meter. You could almost do up to a meter on that. But if you're going any more than that, then you got to go bigger, 30-30, 40-40 even, to do big printers. And all the big printers are using that. They're actually using 80-40 extrusions. Oh, glad to hear it, Mark. Yes, I personally love Ziltech. I need to get some of their newer stuff. Their older filament worked great. I do want to try out some of their newer filament. Things have changed a little bit in it, but everyone says it prints great. And I'm hoping to do some projects with them specifically once I move. So come September, October timeframe, expect to see some content sponsored and provided by Ziltech. I thought about getting a CTC. From when I got my first printer and I bought the G-Tech, I really did think about the CTC, but the G-Tech was cheaper, so I went with that. Yeah, absolutely. Convert away, man. I'll show you this. Hang on. So I'm going to be making my very own i3 Mark III clone, and here I have the frame and all the pieces from the UK, because no one in the States cuts this. But they have all the exact parts, and it comes with the 30-30 extrusion for it. And I'm going to be converting my G-Tech i3 to a Prusa i3 Mark III. This is going to be I'm going to buy one. I'm actually going to buy one. But this is going to be a cheaper clone because I'm not going to be using their control board, sadly enough. Everything else should be as close to the original as the Mark III as I can make it. But that is an upcoming project which I hope to do before I move. It really might not happen though, and I'll be pretty upset if I don't get to it. I still have about 10 rolls of filament to get through reviews in the next 2 months. So, or not even that, month and a half I'd say, because I'm going to pack out before I move. I need to get that done. So, hopefully this will happen one day. Yeah, you would have to, but that's the other thing. If you're going to build something that big, you're not using 8mm rods. You're using 12, 14, 16mm rods, which are crazy expensive, I bet, to get that long of a rod in that size. I mean, you're probably going to drop $100 just on the smooth rods, and the lead screws. But then you're probably using ball screws. If you're printing that big, you're using ball screws. You're not using lead screws. So you're not really all you're paying for are the parts. Like with any kit printer, all you're doing is paying someone to source the parts for you. And the cheaper you can get them, they get the parts for cheap because they buy, when you go on to AliExpress or GearBest, you buy motors. You're buying 5 motors at a time. The Fugatech, not the FT5 because there's custom parts in that, But definitely the Fugatech 2020 i3, you're paying Fugatech to source the parts for you. Because that entire printer you can make on your own. You can find the brackets. They only have the Z brackets, which you don't even really need. You can use something different. But that entire printer is somebody sourced the parts, put them together, and sold you a kit. And so is the CR10, to be honest, and the CR10S. They're just kits that are already put together for you. It's whenever you get printers that have custom paneling is when it's different. So can you see edges? Yes, you can. Do I have something nearby that I can show you? I do. My son broke the Thor's hammer. I'm pretty upset about that. So let me see if you can see this. And let me put myself on the big screen because oh, are you guys seeing this in 720p? Can you let me know? Because I did some changes. You should be able to see me in 720p right now. But I would like to know if you can. So you can see the divisions right there on this print. Now you would have to, there's a little bit of peeling on this. I have one other print I can show you here. That's a good example. That would be the Master Sword up top here. Hope I don't knock anything down. Almost did it. Didn't dare. And the Master Sword, you can definitely see all the transitions through here, the different parts. You would have to file these down, sand them, or I should say sand this down, use a bit of Bondo, sand it again, and then paint in order to not see any of the layer transitions. If you are able to make your cuts, so if you're going to do a Coliseum, you're going to cut in 4, per se, and if you cut it by floor, if you can cut where a transition already is, you're better off. And if you're designing your own models, you should be able to do that anyway, especially if you're doing architectural stuff. But like, for example, there's a seam right here, which is hard to see. But there's also no seam here because this part prints part of it. If you were to print this entire handle as one piece and make your transition in here where this just slots into the, I forget the name of the hilt part of this, I think this is the hilt, then you're better off. But again, if you're, it all depends on your modeling skills and what you're doing and the type of models you're using. But basically, if it's a flush mount, yes, you're going to see transitions. If it is something where it's in a crevice somewhere, then no, you can hide it. Otherwise, get ready to print and sand. Sorry for my facial shot here. I gotta put the sword back up without knocking down, maybe. Can I? Nope. There it goes. Okay. What did I knock down? Oh, I knocked down Doctor. FT5 R2 a few days ago, and it's pretty nice as expected. Paul, have you built the entire thing yet? So XT3D is nice, but it's not going to hide your seams. Like, you're still going to see the seams with XTC3D, sorry, because it basically enhances everything. It just glosses it over. Yeah, you'll gloss over the seams, but you're still going to see them. And also for an architectural model, I wouldn't recommend XTC3D. It's too thick. I don't have one here that's pretty detailed. Hey, Derek. Like, if I was going to do, sorry if it's loud, I have this giant baby rattle here. If I was to XT3D this, be great because it's not that detailed. You know, there's just the dude's logo here in the handle. But other than that, it's a pretty simple print. But something with a lot of details, I wouldn't want to use something thick and That should save. Settings. Where's the editor here? So I need to fix something here real quick. Looks like I'm dropping out here. Oh, and we're back. Bitrate killed. Yeah, that's saved. Okay, that's all saved. Okay. Go back here. Oh, you guys probably want to see me and not that anymore. Bam! There I am. Okay. Let me pull up here real quick. Here, printing, YouTube, unedited. So I have a lot of videos here to edit. I've got a 3D printed SMG, Fugatech PET-G, Picasso I just did, the February Maker box, the G-Tech E180 review, Hypercube Part 5. I did the Micro Swiss all metal hot end on the CR10S, Kodak PLA Plus, TPU I have not finished yet, polycarbonate not finished yet, PET-G, PLA, wood PLA, the Suntop Silk Blue. I thought I did that video, maybe I didn't. Anycubic i3 video. I'm doing a RetroPie video, and I did the EAZ ABL on the CR10. So there are quite a few videos that I need to get edited sooner rather than later. So compared to the FT5, that's really hard to tell. I mean, it's quieter than the FT5 was out of the box, but that's because I made it that way. Print quality wise, out of the box, it's better. I also have a much higher understanding of Simplify 3D nowadays than I had when I first started using Simplify 3D and the FT5. Build volume wise, obviously it's a lot smaller. The FT5 is 300 by 300 by 400, where this one is only getting what 170 by 200 by 215 on the Z, I guess, something like that. I'm not terribly thrilled about its build volume, which is kind of a bummer. But it's nice. I mean, they're hard to compare. They really are. Oh, true, Morph. I didn't think about that, using the alcohol on it. We'll see, I do like the flexibility for Paul. I do like the flexibility of the Hypercube and all the different mods people have made for it. Like, they have remixed pretty much every single part of the printer, so you can get anything you want really out of it. Did I get it to, yes I did. What was the problem? I think it ended up being filament, wasn't it? I think it ended up being filament related. I was using, what was I using? Oh, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't filament related at all. I somehow totally screwed up my profile. And then what I did is I reloaded the default CR10. So I have the profiles that I use all the time and I edit and I play with. But then when I originally create them or I download them from somebody, like I'm using Chris Elkins as a base plate for that. I deleted my profile, re-imported Chris Elkins, made my normal changes to it again, which mainly support an extrusion multiplier, did another print with it, came out perfectly. So somehow I completely jacked my Simplify 3D profile up, and I don't know how I did it, but I did. It happens. So I would recommend everyone have a backup of your profiles that you're not actively using. Like, you know it works good, make a copy of that somewhere else. It's going to look bad, Tronic, again, but it can look great as long as you can make those transitions where it's just hard to even tell you where and how to do it. I know that, was it Brett made it? One of the guys scaled up the fantasy castle on Thingiverse. It's like got like 17,000 people have added their collection, stuff like that. It's like the most popular castle on there. He scaled that up like 400% and printed it in 20 pieces, something like that. Sent it out to somebody who sanded it, printed it, and it came out amazing. So it was awesome after someone did some good work on it. Why is that still showing up huge? I guess that's 14 point right there. Yeah, I would definitely build a larger Hypercube. I might do one in my next post once we move. I am debating that a lot right now. The wife said I can do it, so I am kind of thinking about doing that. But Tronic, if you're looking to print something and then show it off, it's going to be hard unless you can figure out your transitions. Rud, what up, buddy? Yeah, Chris is, he actually, he has several profiles. He has one for the Ender 2, which I use to start with. For the CR10 and CR10S, I used both of his to start with. They were good starting points. They did not work out of the box for me as they did for other people. I also do my supports differently than he does. I only change like 2 or 3 tiny things, but I do change some things. So other than that, most of his profile is fine. For Fun RC, hello, hello, and welcome back. You come to most of my streams. Oh yeah, for a client, definitely matters. You know, it happens, and I don't. I hope no one holds me up to this like godlike status that I hear sometimes. But no, I mean I mess up all the time. I don't show all of my screw ups. I do show them on my Facebook page or like Instagram, stuff like that. But I mean I do screw up all the time. Actually, in the February MakerBox video, I show a screw up I did there because I didn't listen to the settings that came on the bag. I thought I was better than that. If I do a big Hypercube, I will use straight up meter extrusions, and I will do as big as a build volume as I can. I'll just need to find some way to source a heated bed for it. And so the aluminum part and the heated pad, I'm gonna see if I can get someone to sponsor part of it if I can. I don't know if I can though. That's gonna be the hardest part though with the build is getting a heated bed on it. Everything else is easy. I'll do big smooth rods. I'm gonna have big bore carbon fiber for the X. The Z will be 12 or 14, maybe 14 millimeter smooth rods. The Y will be probably 10 millimeter smooth rods. Oh, it'll definitely be dual Z there. Yeah, definitely dual Z on the sides. That's obviously will happen. I mean, if you want to do about 500, then you're going to have to go with the CR10, CR10S. The 10S gives you the dual Z, pretty much the biggest difference you're going to see between the two of them. I like the board. The board is more responsive. The screen is more responsive on the S. So if you had to go with a cheaper printer, then yes, you could do the CR10S. But again, you're relying on community for support. So don't think that you can call somebody and get help with it. If I do a big printer, yes, it'll be 30-30 extrusions. I'm gonna try and work out a deal with Fugatech because John doesn't always stock his 30-30 extrusions as much. I'll actually look right now, see if he even has it in stock. If he does, I'll get it from them, or I'll see if Ziltech will help me out with the extrusions on that. But if John has them, I could probably just buy them off him because his extrusions are so cheap. That's where I got everything for the Hypercube as it is right now. And he's usually sold out of a lot of it. Yeah, 2020 sold out in a meter and meter and a half. 30-30 sold out. 40-40 has. 2040 sold out, and 2080 he has. But it sells out so quick because a meter of 2020 is like $7. I mean, you can't go wrong with that at all. So 712 Maker, I bought some of his stuff. I have gear right here sitting where I bought from him. So someone gave me an extruder carriage. I bought the gantry, or it's 713 Maker, and then I bought the build plate from him. And I'm just waiting for a weekend to set aside to install that because I have to totally rip the printer apart. I'm dreading that beyond belief because it's working right now. I don't want to mess with it. I might not do it until I move just because I need the printer to work until I move to get reviews done. And the last thing I need is have a printer in pieces while it's crunch time for me. Who else is the small guy that does the aluminum beds? Because I mean, I have the 713 Maker, which it looks good. I have not tested it for flatness yet. I'm assuming it's flat. All right, so last questions from anybody. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to cut it tonight. I'd like to get a little bit of editing done. I need to get some other prints started here. Anything else I can answer for you guys for tonight? I think Ziltech was fair priced on their extrusions as well. I prefer Simplify 3D. I think Simplify 3D works better out of the box once installed and you load in a profile and you hit print than Cura. I feel that the defaults in Simplify 3D are better than in Cura, and I feel the Simplify 3D is easier to understand than Cura. Cura used to be easy to understand. Actually used to be really simple, almost too simple back in the day. Ever since 2. something came out, they exploded all the options. And I feel now for basic users, Cura is too many options, like in your face. Like, I gotta change this, gotta change that. Where Simplify 3D, you just print with it. And all the settings are there. They're easy to understand. You highlight and they give you options on them. It's $150 though. I know there's a lot of people that don't want to a lot of people don't want to pay that much for software. I personally bought it right after I started 3D printing, and I haven't thought anywhere else. So, Mr. Per, I'm not going to get the bottom. I feel that is a waste of money for me. I will get probably later this year or next year once I save some more. After I buy the MK3, I'm going to buy the Y-axis parts. So we'll see how that goes. I just want to look here and see what 3D printed parts. I want to see if he has extrusions on here. No extrusions. Let's see what the price is. Building for Pi War sounds cool. Let's see. Oh, I have 10 pack of 2020. Oh yeah, they have the custom cut in the packs. All 2020. So then they have 30 pre-cut at 1,000. Looks like $15 per meter. A little high, but not horrible. So I could go here too. Either or, I'll be going through one of them. And someone was saying about the CR10 enforcements. They also make this here, which is a full aluminum set. Again, you can buy it for $50, which actually isn't a bad price, or you can spend. It's going to cost about $30 in extrusion to cut it down, including the corner brackets to do it yourself. Maybe $25, $30 yourself. So all depends on what your ability is to cut things yourself. So, remember steel aluminum has some of the prices for 85 plates. Well, that's not too bad, but if I build the big printer, it's going to be a lot bigger than 300. It's going to be more like 500 or 600.